It's an away day to remember for the Dons here at Tynecastle. They won 1-0, they were dominant. Johnny Hayes the match winner. We can hear from him now alongside Graham Shinnie. They're with Ailey Barber.
Well, Johnny, you certainly love a goal on BT Sport, but how vital was that one, given how close you two are in the league table?
Yeah, I thought it was tough at times. Hearts are a good side, and it's not been the best of places for us to come in recent years, but I thought the way we set up, we sat back a little bit, hit them on the count, and the goal obviously comes from the manager's tactics. We're delighted to get 3 points. As I said, it's a tough place to come, probably one of the toughest in the league fixture, and we're obviously delighted.
That was your 50th senior career goal, did you know that?
No, not at all, no. Don't keep track, but I'll tell a few people about that now.
Well, Graham, for yourself it was a stuffy match out there. What does it say about the squad that you were able to see that out, not panic and rely on the goals and the class of the guy next to you?
Yeah, it was. We know it's going to be tough down here, it always is. But I felt comfortable in the game. I thought we had good control of the game at times, created a lot of chances, especially first half, maybe a bit disappointing not to take one, but continued that in the second half, and Johnny's got a great goal, great ball in from McGinn, and then it shows fighting at the end to keep a clean sheet as well.
It puts you in a really good position as well in that fight for second place. That's got to be the ambition this season for you guys as a squad.
Yeah, definitely. We just take it game by game. The last 3 over Christmas period, we've won all 3, which is what we wanted to do. So now we've got a bit of time to relax and recharge the batteries and go again next year.
Well, have a very good new year when it comes, Graham. You're man of the match. Johnny, I'll let you do the honours.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Michael Stewart and Stephen Cragen are here to analyse that one. I think you're a bit surprised by that Hearts performance, but let's start on the good side of the game for Aberdeen. They were excellent, weren't they?
They were terrific, Dal. I think their whole approach over the past 3 games has been really aggressive. You know, we spoke at the top of the programme about Derek and back with his most experienced players, the players he can trust. They performed the game for him tonight. You think back 8-9 days ago when people were questioning Derek McInnes and, you know, had he lost his appetite, had his team fell away a little bit. The last 3 games, they've been absolutely terrific. They've deserved their 9 points. Oh, you're back. We thought you'd resigned at the top of the programme. No, he's back. No.
Yeah.
But I thought they thoroughly deserved the victory. It should have been more. But Derek will be delighted with the response of his players. I thought they were excellent.
Let you catch your breath. But on Hearts, you were quite shocked actually standing here watching that.
Well, you were as well.
I think everybody was. 1 month ago we saw them play Rangers off the park.
I think everybody was, Darryl. It was I think the word you used was insipid performance, and
one of my better ones.
It certainly was. It bore no resemblance to that fixture against Rangers. They were on the front foot. They were dominant. This game, they conceded the territory, they conceded the initiative, and I think a lot of it is down to the shape. You know, the players weren't comfortable in it. You've got Novak in the team who's playing defensive midfield. He ended up in the second half, rather than pushing players further forward, he got deeper and he ended up playing like a back 3, and it meant that every player dropped 1 place further back. And Chris spoke about it in commentary. Bjorn Johnson looked so isolated, and there was no width in this team either. Hearts continually get punished in the wide areas. We saw it at half-time with the highlights. Wide areas. Where's the goal come from?
Yep.
The wide areas. Not only were they getting punished, they weren't hurting Aberdeen in the wide areas. And I keep talking about this. Tynecastle is a narrow park. You need to maximise the width. And Hearts did the exact opposite.
They looked uncertain and nervous, what Michael said. So what happens exactly is you start to try and protect your goal. You start to think, well, I'm not too sure what I'm doing, so what I'll do is I'll go back, which drags everybody back, and then you don't get hold of the ball, you don't get control of the game. They looked absolutely lost.
I think the way they try and play, you know, is that they try and get their width from their fullbacks. They get the wide men in off the line, and then they try and get the fullbacks on really high, which is, you know, you talk about Nova, you talked at the top about making that back 3. It's a difficult thing to do when players are lacking confidence. They aren't slick, they weren't cohesive, and simply Johnson was far too isolated. I like Johnson as a player, but when they were hitting long balls up to him, if you're going to play that way, you've got to get bodies in and around him, Darryl.
It probably underlines as well how big a loss Patterson's going to be with the fullbacks, because he does get forward. And look, you talked about Novak and the role he was playing tonight to help, almost in a back 3 at times. Well, where was he on the goal?
Well, it's a very good point. I think he was posted missing. You know, here he is in the middle of the park, picking up, I think it's Kenny McLean, and he lunges into a tackle, and he's lost. But where's the rest of the defence? You watch here as they're charging back in, ball watching, both to the front post, and Hayes comes round the back. It's a wonderful goal.
Where's John Suter going?
A wonderful goal.
They're queuing up.
You talk about John Suter's attributes being in possession and on the ball. He charges into an area with no one in front of him. Look at him there, charging for a ball. He's no need to do. Hold your position, open your shoulders, be aware of where the attackers are around about you, as opposed to ball watching. But simple goal.
Novak is in the side to stop counter-attacks. You know, in possession, not really interested. Stop counter-attacks. And there, punished to the maximum by not doing that, getting dragged out of the area. And you know, Hearts were punished. I just think that Hearts conceded the game. They did not put and impose their style of the game.
As you would at home.
Of course you would.
Aberdeen deserves a victory, but
They do.
credit Aberdeen for the goal. It was a lovely touch from McLean. Well, lovely two touches. First touch, bang, took players out of the game, and then Rooney would have scored had Hayes not.
And I was just about to praise him, and it was coming, because in the first half,
They'll be pleased
as
with
we
that,
highlighted, yes, they will. There was lots of chances that they should have been ahead in the first half.
Extremely comfortable, really, all night. I think that's Reynolds, isn't it? I think he should score. You know, he's got a free header, should go back in those situations across the keeper, and he scores. That was gilt-edged.
You see here as well, not picked up at the back post. I think it's Rossi that he gets above. He doesn't even know that he's there. And, you know, very much like Chris is talking about on the last one, better if Kenny McLean comes back across the keeper. But again, I keep reiterating this. Every one of these chances comes from the wide areas. And, you know, Chris spoke about how Hearts want to push their fullbacks on and get the width in those areas with the wide men stepping in. Hearts didn't play with anybody high up on the right hand side at all for large parts of the game, and they got punished for it. Not just with the lack of offensive threat, but the lack of defensive cover as well, and that is a huge chance.
Kennedy's best. You know, that's why I had him on my team of the season, playing midfield.
And made him man of the match tonight.
Exactly. Just because there's of aggression in play, you know, the way he steps onto the game, I think it suited him here tonight. But there wasn't a lot of football played at times. It was about making contact with people, breaking up play, driving forward. I thought he was terrific. But Aberdeen, for me, have laid a marker down to Hearts, as if to say, you're going to come and have to try and beat us.
And if you see Rooney didn't score tonight, but do you know what? Even that chance he missed, he's the one on the front foot, anticipating, gambling. You know, he's going to score. He'll always score goals, Rooney, because he actually thinks he's going to hit the post and fall to. A lot of strikers don't think that way, Darryl. He's a goal scorer.
The interesting thing about Rooney, he was up top on his own. We know that. McLean's tucked him behind, and because Hearts dropped Novak even further back, it allowed Kenny McLean to step right forward.
This should be interesting, Michael, because
compare
we're going to
and
hear from Ian
contrast
Cathro
Rooney
now, who's waiting to speak
to Joe Garner.
Yeah, here's Ian Cathro now, the Hearts head coach with Ailey.
Ian, a frustrating night for you, but how do you assess the team's performance tonight?
Varied, I think. At first it was difficult for us to make the game feel the way that we wanted it to be. Aberdeen probably won that initial fight of making the game be the way they wanted it to be. We made some adjustments, and I think the players showed good fight and good togetherness to get to half time with 0-0. Whether we deserved that or not, I think that's probably that's questionable. But the fight was there to give us that. I think in the second half we improved with our adjustments. It gave us a bit of a stronger position in the game, and we could have maybe made some better decisions at times, which may have gave us a longer period of causing them problems. But there was progress, but ultimately the game wasn't the way that we hoped it would be, which is down to our work and for us to improve.
What was missing? What's missing in terms of what you want to see your team doing out there?
Well, we hope to be able to get started quickly with the ball and be able to take the positions that we want to do. Now, of course, there's times in games where that's very difficult. When there's maybe some more direct play involved, it becomes aggressive. There was moments in which the central area of the pitch is a little bit difficult, and you need to have other solutions. And we do have those, and there was times when we maybe looked a threat in that sense. But when the game becomes very man to man and a bit battle-like at times, then we need to be a bit stronger when the game is like that.
How big a month is January coming up for you in terms of working with these players during the break and getting more of your stamp upon the team, and also in terms of perhaps recruiting a few more players? Yeah,
it's very important. It's very important. I think both those bits of work are essential bits of work. We need more time together. We need to add more things to the team. We need to improve things. We need to do a lot of work together. And also there's parts of the squad that we'll look to do some business. The extent of that will be determined by how the market goes for us and how we think we can improve the team.
Thanks, Ian. Wish you all the best for next year.
Thank you.
Well, look, he is making subtle changes. He wants to change the system. So how important is this winter break and this January window for him?
Well, I think it's very important. I just look back at when Ian Cathro first came in. He spoke about he didn't have to make many changes because obviously the team were sitting second. They were starting to look as if they'd found their shape and formation. And it really does strike me as a great opportunity. The winter break should have been to implement these changes, because you see here, big games, the team didn't look comfortable with the way they were trying to play. And Ian Cathro spoke about the middle of the park became very difficult, and there was other solutions. Well, Hearts didn't have the other solutions, and they should have. They had a complete lack of width in the game, and that was quite telling that they didn't recognise that. I don't know about you guys, but to me it was quite clear that was what was going on.
Guys, Ian Cathro needs to be given a chance, obviously, but there's going to be a few stones thrown in his direction again tonight, isn't there, because of the way they played? And I can tell you, one's been thrown by Chris Boyd on social media. He's put an image of a smashed laptop up there tonight.
Well, petty, isn't it? I mean, just give the guy time, I mean, it's a bit tit for tat at the minute. Chris Boyd's out of order. As far as I'm concerned, it's not needed. It's not necessary. Give the guy a chance.
To his reception here the other night, though, isn't it?
Oh, well, come on. I mean, Chris Boyd started all this, so grow up. That's just the way it is. Your Chuck Stones, Cathro's come out fighting, so what?
It's a wee bit pantomime.
In fairness, well played for him to come out and speak to us so quickly after the game.
But I think what I will say is the fact that he said he's seen improvement in the second half would be slightly worrying for me.
They didn't create enough, did they?
The fact that they have improved and made progress would be slightly worrying, because I thought they deteriorated as the game went on. It became a little bit more hopeful.
Say that? Did he say they'd improved and made progress?
Yeah, they did. He said they made progress in the second half and they'd improved, which was slightly worrying and concerning.
Because we all looked at it and we thought it was actually a regression.
It looked as if they lost a bit of discipline as well.
They had the chance from Walker. That was the only chance.
And he's got a bit of quality, and he created it out of nothing, Chris.
Yeah, no, he did. And look, they didn't do enough, and I'm not making excuses.
This is part of the frustration. I'm saying Igor Rossi gets involved here with Ash Taylor, I think it is. I mean, there's not maybe a lot in it, but it just shows you that the team were getting frustrated. We saw Johnson was booked for throwing a bit of the corner flag as well.
Well, that was a little bit petty, wasn't it? I
mean,
it just been banjoed into the corner flag. I mean, how would you feel, Daryl? He got up.
It's frustrations, isn't it? Well, the fact that they were on such a good run, they were sitting second in the league, suddenly things are slipping away, things are falling to the wayside. It happens.
Okay, here's the Aberdeen manager, Derek McInnes, now also with Ailey.
Well, Derek, it was a bit of a stuffy night at times out there. You must be delighted with how your team didn't panic out there.
No, I thought we were a bit wasteful with chances, but in chances created, I thought we were far better team. I thought we won the majority, if not all, the individual battles that had to be done. There's some good players in the Hearts team, and it was important we didn't allow them to have any influence in the game. So I thought we had to do that side of the game well, and I thought we picked and chose when to play and when to help the ball on. The pitch was a bit fiery at times, and I thought we got the balance just about right. We passed up so many opportunities to get that goal, but I think when Johnny scores the winning goal, as it turns out, was no more than we deserved.
It puts you in a great position in terms of this battle for second place. How busy a month in January do you need to have to perhaps strengthen in terms of seeing that battle out towards the end of the season?
Well, it's difficult because we've brought a lot of players here to try and get in ahead of an established team, and it's been said maybe we've been over-reliant on the same boys to go a full season, so it's difficult with our parameters and what we get to work with to try and improve a very good team. We've got a good squad at the minute. We would like to maybe do one bit of business if we can, and that might be offset by one or two boys moving on to get some regular football, the ones that have not been playing as much. So we'll see how things transpire. I'm not looking to do too much. We've got a fully fit squad, which helps, and it's down to the good work for the medical team. But I think that when we've got a fully fit squad, we look quite well equipped for the campaign ahead. Hopefully, take the break and feel the energy into the team from when we come back from the break. But I still think that we've got to be mindful if there's one or two out there that can help us, trying to bring them into the squad as well.
It's a great end to this year. We wish you all the best for the year ahead, Derek.
Thank you. Cheers.
They will enjoy that trip to Dubai now in the January transfer window as well. It's important for Derek McInnes, but overall excellent from them tonight. A statement, 3 wins in a row.
Extremely comfortable 1-0. Joe Lewis wasn't troubled at all, was he? They should have won by more, and they look really solid. He's gone back to what he knows, the team he knows, and credit to Aberdeen. They're on the up, and it's a huge game for Rangers tomorrow now.
Yeah, Aberdeen showed their mettle at a time and a big occasion when they needed to deliver to guarantee that third or second spot, they've done it tonight.
And players like Niall McGinn can get a rest as well now.
Can
of course,
they?
much needed.
Gentlemen,
thank you very much indeed. Why are you laughing all the time?
Well, he can, Daryl, yes.
Yes, he can. Have a very happy New Year when it comes around. Same to everybody at home. Enjoy the winter break as well. We'll see you in a few weeks' time. Bye now.